Hi, everybody. Shout out to the Venture Replay Game. Please like this video on your way in or out the door. Thank you. Oh, shit. I don't know why I did it on this one. So, I was just in Juicy Live. I'm pretty sure he won't mind me playing my part because he asked me to come up there. And they was mad about it because they were trying to talk about some other shit, but it wasn't that interesting. Hold on a second. Oh, am I on my thing? So, number one. We prove who is a liar, who keep trying to move goalposts. So let's review lies again. We're gonna review the lie. Hold on. Because I don't have to lie about the goddamn thing. And do you know that weird bitch? She did her scary shit, ran to the comment sections. And so let me tell you, I think some people are mad, but I don't care because you can't claim to be oh, let me address VS dumbass because she keep trying to go around, but she keep being proven stupid. See, you the one that like I heard ZX said something about Nyla. ZX does things for content. There is no meaning behind his words, and he clearly can't protect himself. He goes around looking for content. I don't like I told you, I know a fisherman when I see one, and I don't recognize no bullshit. That's why he was never able to get on my link again like you bitches. Because you don't care about your autistic kids. You don't. See, when ODS was sitting out here, he think like I said, autism has a wide spectrum. And one thing I'm noticing the difference between my older kids and my younger kids, I think the fact that my son and daughter, my older kids were so close in age, it helped they helped each other. You know what I'm saying? With everything. Learning, potty training, because when you have other kids there, and that's one thing I've noticed. See, I was listening to Read Live. I'm like, child, see, this is why I'm more advanced than I got certain people. I never needed an advocate. Like I sit down when it comes to my children, I sit down and I just read like certain protocols and stuff like this and this and that. I've always been my own advocate. Always been my own advocate. And I use my skills in real life to help others. And because I'm antisocial and people are fucking ungrateful, that's why I tend to do it on live in a larger spectrum, like in a larger area. But yeah, let's get to Juicy Live. Because when people are here thinking like J Dunn could be autistic. First of all, the characteristics that y'all are giving to her for autism isn't even true. And VS, you dumb bitch. You dumb bitch. They think they can drag people because they're autistic. I'm not using autism for anything. They are trying to use autism as a drag. I'm not the one sensitive about it because I know what autism stands for. I know because I just dealing with like different classmates in my kids' class. Like I told you guys, my son was very verbal very early on. He didn't have any speech issues. In fact, his speech was cut down before he was 3 years old. He wasn't getting full speech services. And this is before, and I'm one of the parents in New York City that helped make a way. That's why I said when Nala went into school nonverbal, well, like they were saying, verbal is well, Nala was at that point like what K Son is now. His age, and there's nothing wrong with that. Every kid is different, and they have different things because there's different. Nobody knows what causes autism. Yeah, he was no Juicy's always being biased, but what he can't stop is the truth. So I knew he was gonna do that bullshit because he's about his coin and views. You see what I'm saying? So the only thing they just proved in that live is my point. All the people in the chat talking about I'm lying, then poverty had to get up there and admit the truth. Because you see, once I said I want to play your live, she heard and switch her narrative and story. She kept switching up. She's a well-known liar and a broke bitch that's always begging. That whole crew, the whole crew begs. I don't. If I tell people I live in low-income housing and get food stamps, it's because I live in New York City. It's not a flex to pay high rent. Unless you're renting to own, I don't give a fuck if you're in New York City or Alaska. you're a dummy. You're a dummy. Unless the reason why people pay high rent is supposed to be for it's usually one or two things. But when you're a parent, the main thing is you want access to good schools. And in New York City, they literally made education like they be trying to box people in with these zone schools. They have arrested so many parents based on them trying to get their kids in a better public school system based on the zone. Because if you live in certain zones in New York City, zip codes, I said zones, if you live in certain zip codes in New York City, your kid automatically qualifies to getting public schools with private schools, um, how you say, education system. Because they do have those schools in New York City. Why they don't make all of them that way, I'll never know. Maybe one day I'll do a live breaking things down because I didn't know so many people needed advocates just to get basic shit, and other people had to teach them. So I can teach you how to get your own knowledge dealing with autism or regular school because I've dealt extensively in both. So anyway, and then some boy, were you trying to be funny? When you go for corporate, there's this thing as non-profit corporate and corporate. Corporate is like the real welfare money because, like I said, that's what all your welfare dollars go to. It's called corporate welfare. Only these bums that's in they working minimum wage job or entry level pay, or they got a college degree but not a job in these how you say, they don't have a job in their field that could overtake their degree. That's why you have to be smart when you go to college. Not everybody doesn't go to college because they can't go. It's not needed. It depends on what profession you're in. Some professions you go into, it's no getting around a college degree. You got to do it. But like I said, some people some kids are only as smart as their parents, and some parents are only as smart as a Google search. And that's not a problem for me. Hey, Vibrant. So yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So what I was saying is when people want to give these talks about how people hang around people who disrespect kids, I say, yeah, I don't know why y'all trying to throw me in that battle. I never hanging around. I never liked ODS. When he drag anybody I see on here dragging kids, I'm the main person out here saying something about it. Especially if they trying to give people diagnosed with autism. I said, and he told me I'm giving Jay Dunn. No, I'm not giving no fucking Jay Dunn. Are you crazy? You telling people you trying to make it seem the only reason why poverty got on your link is because I'm destroying her in these B sector streets. The fuck you mean? And you knew that. That's why you didn't want to openly agree with her, but you also want her to be comfortable to hit your link. But you see, I got you to views, not that bitch. The bitch, if she was over, if poverty was over this talking point, if poverty was over the situation, why the fuck was she in your chat typing away? Have you ever seen her in your chat so much typing away? Now, what did I lie about? What I said was the fucking truth. Coolin was talking of, hey, Muffy babes. Coolin is a doja. Y'all know I don't like dojas. So I'm gonna say what I'm saying to adult. But Coolin, who I had to support, when Coolin was getting dragged by her sector, when Coolin was getting dragged by now the first time Coolin tried me, she was getting dragged by I think her sector. And I let her come on my page, very nice and accommodating, da da da. You know what I'm saying? Then Coolin got dragged by VS. And this is after the situation happened with me. But see, I knew it wasn't true. Like I said, CPA's case open and closed. People could say they don't deal with CPS. Brooke said the same thing. And you see what happened, right? These bitches could say anything to make themselves feel important. You think we really believe a bitch that can't afford to feed her kids or buy school supplies? Now she don't beg for school supplies. The only reason why she didn't do it this year is because she got shamed. But who started the shame last year when she first did it? That's why I didn't erase that video. Look at my video premiere video that I didn't do on purpose. I just wanted that shit locked down because I know how these people are. And I didn't even get into this on Juicy, but let's not act like even with the contest, poverty has even told me that I joined her contest to get sponsored. And we all know that I sponsored it myself. I never asked people for sponsorship. People gave me sponsorship when I said I wasn't going to do it no more based on my treatment and the unfairness of it all. When I don't want to deal with these people, it's based on how they treat me because they got mindless followers who allow them to treat them any type of way. They're not supportive of anybody. Who competition do they really help? Like when Computer Back Breed joined Brook contest. You see, when I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. There's not a dollar amount that could be put on that. So Brooke did something disrespect to my kids, and Brianna's asking me to be in her chat. You know, number one, because they know if they see me, y'all never see me in her chat, right? So if they see me in her chat, that's something that they could talk about because they always looking for a reason to have something to say about me because my character remains the same. See, like when ZX, who now all of a sudden want to speak up for autistic kids, but originally the only reason why I ever hit his panel, let's not forget, let's bring it back. The only reason why I hit his panel is because he was saying that if your kid is autistic, it's a sign of you being evil and this and that and this. Like, remember, he had a whole spew about how evil you must be. That's why God cursed your womb. No, that's not the case. So I got up there and I said something about it because I'm a mother of a son with autism and now Nyla. So that's going to bother me and I'm going to correct it. I'm not going to let nobody spew lies and rhetoric when I have the facts to back it up. That ain't going to never happen. When ODS sit up there saying, oh, Nyla can't speak because she's autistic, that's not me. That's K-Fit's issue. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So when people say they advocates for, like, to me, you don't, like, certain things I just can't let slide. And me being a mom of autism, I don't like things getting going around. Like, in my opinion, no matter what kind of, like, autism has a wide spectrum, but most kids that's autistic, they don't be thirsty for attention like J Dummy. Like, they are very reclusive. It takes you a long time to get close to them. They don't just trust anybody. They don't let anybody in there. Remember, I told y'all when my kids was older, we used to take them to the park. Going to the park was a chore for my son, but my daughter loved it. She loved going outside socializing. My son didn't. That's how they first started arguing. My son only wanted her to play with him, and she wanted to play with other people. So we had to work that out. My son didn't start really growing real relationships until he was like like pre-teens, going into teens. That's how, excuse me, I'm sorry, I had to burp. But that's how long it took him to get into friendships. You know what I'm saying? But my daughter always been a social butterfly. What's up, Weird Me? What's up, boo? So yeah, it's different thing. Like, just like even punishing them. See, my son, when I'm growing up, like, I never really had to hit them. Growing up, if I wanted to punish my son, all I got to do, number one, take his cars away. He was obsessed with cars at that point. But me telling my son you can't go to the park, that's like you about to give him all his favorite snacks and toys at one time. I ain't got to go to the park. Yes, Lord. He happy. Me telling my daughter she can't go to the park, that's effective for her, but not for my son. He loved to stay in the house. She didn't. So you just got to know your kids. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, my son was very verbal. He's been verbal. He was almost 2 years old when his sister was born. I think they're like a month or two shy of 2 years apart. So they were very close growing up and they fed off of each other. So yeah. So my son was, I never had a verbal issue. Nyla being verbal a little later on was shocking to me. And that's how I figured out it's much harder raising a kid by itself, by themselves, than it is than having another child. There's a lot that goes into that. Because you gotta remember, Nyla was born right before COVID. That's why I like to do play dates. But like I told you, the girl that I had doing play dates, she was Spanish. And I didn't really like. It's not like they can't be friends no more, or nothing. But she wanted another mother. It didn't really matter the race, but she really wanted a mother that could speak Spanish because she wanted her kids to be bilingual. She wanted her daughter to be bilingual so she could have communications with like her grandmother and great grandmother because they spoke little to no English. So even though the lady was a great play date for me, because when you make play dates, especially with kids with autism, it's kind of hard because if they don't vibe, they don't vibe. You know what I'm saying? And the reason for play date is when you go to the park, your kids already got somebody that they are friendly with. Like Nala has gotten much better over the years because in the beginning, Nala would go to the park. If kids try to play with her, she would walk the opposite way. If they follow her around, sometimes she would even push them away, like making it clear, like, get away from me. You know what I'm saying? But now, like now that she's been in school for a year or two now, she's getting way more comfortable and accepting, like at least playing a little bit. But she's still, but I don't, I like, I'm one of those people. I don't make my kids speak to people they don't want to speak to. I don't make my kids hug nobody they don't want to hug because kids can see things we don't in people. I believe that they more pure. See, yeah. So that's my thing. So I was like, how is anybody? Because the autism spectrum is so like I said, the autism spectrum is wide. And both of my children, with my son and Nyla, you cannot tell they have autism by just simply looking at them. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell. Especially with my son because his speech wasn't really that delayed, but it was more his social thing. And there were other things he was delayed in, but it's just not something you would notice right away unless you were professional at it. So my thing is this: I cannot, like, people want to sit here and say about me, but like everybody, but I don't hang around people that just go drag kids, any kids. But there are people on here like ODS, Brianna, Ness, Brooke, Pizarro that drag kids simply because they're autistic. So for VS, because she has some type of motive to try to turn it around and say that I'm using my daughter's autism as an excuse. How? They are trying to make it seem because my daughter is autistic and because of their beliefs of what autistic is. ODS believes that all autistic kids are mute, can't speak, but that doesn't apply to my child. It doesn't apply to her. But the very people that be in your chat supporting you, it applies to them. That's a real statement. Nobody, you can't be mad at me for the truth. That's K Fit and ODS. Aisha, she came out here defending Brianna. Brianna turned right around and dragged kids with autism, and she knows Aisha kid is autistic, and the drag, it wasn't not me using autism, it was her thinking that she could put down my child because she's autistic. Same thing with ODS. So y'all cannot sit here and say on one hand, oh, I should like. What about the people that hang around people that drag kids because they simply autistic? I asked Davina the same question about Ness. I'm equal across the board. Davina child is autistic. Ness mod, one of her top mods, very supportive of her. So these people don't think enough about you to even consider you, but they to be the same people that want to sit here and support these people and want to pretend like they're not included. Oh, you're included because your particular issue is what they think the worst of autistic people, and that doesn't even affect my daughter. And what I always said though, because like I told y'all, when my son was going to school, he had one boy, he was nonverbal, but he was very smart, like as far as with the drawing and stuff like that. Remember, I told you the story how many times? Like he could literally imitate any type of art. Like they had to teach him to not sign like the artist's name because he could even imitate the artist's name. And it wasn't so much because they didn't want people taking advantage like of his skills, and people because they'll do it. They don't care. So yeah, it's no now like everybody got to make an argument for me that can't be made because my character speaks for itself. You cannot put labels on me that apply to others. And if you're gonna do that, call out other people. You can't blame me for like I can sit on any pain I want to because at the end of the day, I can't control who people associate with. Only thing I can control is myself. But a bitch that begs ain't gonna call me a beggar. Like they be collecting money. Like that's why she was really poverty was mad because her school thing went down, and then she was really so concerned about giving back. Why she never came back and gave her and her supporters? Why the Cash App only mess up that day? Anytime she do a contest where she's collecting money, Cash App never fails her. Now she was on Juicy platform, moving the goalposts so many times it was ridiculous, and I felt so bad for the dummies. Like now, mind you, I was on Pretty Girl Chocolate panel earlier, right? Hazel Diane, bitch ass, she come on when I got to the platform. She eventually left, but when I seen she first came in, because I told her I was gonna come there back because I was doing other stuff. And when I came back, she was still up there. I said, "Well, it don't look like she's leaving no time soon. So let me go ahead, because I did tell her I was coming back." So I go back or whatever. She hurt and ran off the panel. But now she in Juicy chat with so much to say. But my thing is this, Hazel Diane, all that ass kissing, all those cash apps, and you still can't get 1K on a video. And I'm mentioning it now because if you get 1K, that's the power of me, not some asses you be licking, bitch. I waited a minute to tell you that. So only thing VS was honest about her live was the fact that they can't handle my mouth. And they gotta go to Nyla to try to get me off of them. These people suck ass for views and cash apps. I'm not at that stage in my life, and I hopefully will never be. I'm very unbiased. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, Poverty got up there. First, she tried to say that I was up there to remember the whole time I was up there. The only thing she said was, I I'm trying to like shit on her school fundraiser. How can you fundraise without an organization? I'll never know. Like these people say the dumbest stuff online. It just goes to show how smart they are. Then they try to first she tried to lie. Oh, I'm skipping past the part. First she tried to lie and say I had to get the money. I never said that. See how they'll make up anything. I never said that. What I said was I wasn't one of those families. And Juicy told my son, "Oh yeah." She said, "No, it's not alleged. They already admitted that." I never said I didn't get the money. What I said was what I said at the time and what I said that day. Why do I have to come out and say something? Did Poverty give you back my $10? I'm checking my cash app by her own thing. Because she said people shouldn't be talking if they didn't give nothing. I gave her $10. Then she turned around and said, because I didn't mention the $10 she did. She told me to give money, but where's my money back? Give me all my money back. That's what y'all need to do, because that's y'all logic. Okay? So anyway, first she said that I lied about getting the money. I never said I didn't get the $100. I never said that. Then she said I said the money, and I already explained. I don't know how much each family is supposed to get. I don't follow them like that. That's why they can't sit here and say, "Oh, I'll be hating on their cash app." I wouldn't know where they get cash apps, who they get it from, how much they got. I don't know, nor do I give a fuck. Never have. So that's another argument they can't make against me. They can't say that about me. Now, why didn't um Poverty, scary punk ass, told Juicy she thinks he be counting her cash out, and why couldn't he say he do? See, the games that they play with each other, they could never play with me. This is the problem. That's the problem right there. I don't be on here begging. Never have, never will. Never dry begging, none of that shit. Stop the lies. Okay? Well, why she called me about that money and wanted me to speak on behalf of it, everybody with common sense understood that, especially Juicy. So why he admitted? Well, he was admitting it, but he was trying to play games. But I'm not playing games. She came up there and said I lied, but didn't prove one lie. She said that Cooling came to her. Now she want to argue like, "Oh, you said it was behind the scenes and it was in the chat." Girl, who cares? The main part is you said she came to you and she said she did it. And she admitted on Juicy's panel that me and her was on the panel and Cooling was in the chat saying she never said that. And then cool and happy to remember a couple of days later that she did say it. Like, what type of bullshit is that? But they steady want to argue about whether it was behind the scenes or not. You see what I'm talking about? Gaslighting. And then positive gangster come up there with some weird ass shit. No, bitch, I did bring her resources. That's why she was mad. Everybody saw why she was mad because I brought her resources. That's why she heard her drop down and wrote in the chat. Yeah, she wanted to be. She gonna claim I wanted to be the center of attention. How? How? How me giving out resources is me wanting to be the center of attention. If some of you need advocates for basic things, like if I know my child has any type of need, I'm going to study up on it. And yeah, I'm going to talk to professionals and stuff like that. But I'm going to study up on it because everybody has their own opinion. Any doctor, any teacher will tell you that you know your child best. But I don't take people serious when they around people that drag people with autism just because they autistic and you want to act like you're a concerned parent. Like you're not. You put certain things above your concerned parenting. So don't you ever sit on a panel trying to judge me when you hang around people that drag kids because they think your kid is like ZX. They think your kid is autistic because you're an evil person. Let's not forget that's why I came on ZX panel. When they was dragging Reed's son, I supported her. See, these people can't say nothing about me behind the scenes except that I supported them. I didn't talk to VS behind the scenes at all. Not one time, not one text, not one phone call, not one nothing. I don't talk to many people behind the scenes, to be honest with you. And then with Poverty coming up there talking about, didn't me and Poverty have a conversation behind the scenes? So why is she saying we didn't? We was on a phone call. It was me, her, Brianna, and I think they had other people on the call, so they might mention it. So it's not possible for me to believe that you was behind the scenes, but you was on the phone with me. We wasn't on a direct phone call, but we was on a three-way call. So don't say you don't do things behind the scenes because I know for a fact that you do. So it's very possible for you and Coolin to have a three-way call behind the scenes. But the fact is, when I came up there with those facts, you didn't like it. And you made your chat look dumb because they were sitting there trying to lie for you. You had to admit it because if you was past it, you wouldn't have hit his panel. You wouldn't have been in the chat typing. I didn't go up there because I was obsessed about it. He literally asked me to hit the link to talk about it. Because y'all been going out there spinning narratives, making it seem like I said I didn't get the $100. And you had your mindless followers out there following up with the lie because y'all was chin checked because y'all thought it was going to be okay to drag my daughter. And you got pushback and you're mad about it. So now you're sitting here trying to spin a narrative. But guess what? I don't give a fuck. That's the reason why I always be honest. I don't care who is the person at hand. I'm going to speak how I feel. And you got small options you could do. You can ignore or you can lie. But you can't call me a liar. That's what you ain't gonna do. Because everything I say is the truth. Don't speak to me about dealing with people because when I'm on these panels, I'll be handling these people. I don't sit and smile and kiki with people who think like ODS. Like when he's talking about nonverbal things, that does not affect me. And the fact that they think that being nonverbal is the ultimate insult, I would question the mothers that sit in the chat with nonverbal children. The VS winner. Oh, let me tell y'all. If y'all didn't see Read the Heart Philadelphia, I didn't watch the whole lot, child. My ancestors, I told you I don't play about me. So I just happened to be listening to VS lot. But let me tell you how they. I don't know if I should or shouldn't. But anyway, they was K Fit, Read Heart of Philadelphia, and then VS got up there. They was having some type of conversation. I guess she was informing or whatever. Then VS got up there and she's like, yeah, so what do you consider nonverbal? Because VS was trying to be messy, but she wound up proving my point. So VS is like, because mind you, I don't talk about people kids. I don't get at all. So VS came in, she's like, what's nonverbal? So she's basically explaining like there's like, I forgot what she said, but she was correct. But there is a scale with that. But like I said, Nala's past that scale. Nala knows what we're saying. Nala knows how to respond back to what we're saying. But like I said, it's not a contest. Everybody's child is different. I just have like more experience, but like I said, my experience this time is just a little bit different because Nala is the only child in that age group, and it does help if they have another child in their own age group. But I will admit, like it's harder when it's just one child. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very repetitive. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. That's why play dates are good. But if not, just take them to the park and you can just note progress with your teachers. If you're not able to do that, you just got to constantly like taking them places. Like me, I prefer to take Nala to like open play because like I said, Nala is very adventurous and she can run fast. So I just rather enclosed areas. But anyway, they was explaining that. So VS is basically saying, oh, so asking her about her son Bert, and then she was like, well, how old is your son? And then she said, I think she said her son is 8 or 9, and now it's 5. So then you could tell the BS felt dumb. You could like just hear it in her voice. Then she go, okay. And then she tried to flip it over to asking about vacations and do you feel comfortable? Like set her up for the okie doke. Not me, because I wouldn't even answer those type of questions. Not your business. But like I told you, Nala is not going nowhere. I only trust like no. Anyway, so I have to like I stay in the house with my kid. I already know like whether Nala or any of my kids is autistic or not. I already hey CO boss lady, what's up, boo? Whether my kid is autistic or not, I just know all doctors agree, and it doesn't matter any of the disabilities. The age of 0 to 5 is the most important year. So if you can, but some people can't stay home with their kid, but that was a requirement before I even had kids. You understand that? Like that was something that went into thought. That's what made me create standards to have even, whatever. So yeah, I was just being honest. So basically it didn't go VS way. So instead of her admitting that, she's gonna try to sit in here and turn around and say, like, I'm using autism as an excuse. How? No, the people are using autism as an excuse. The same people y'all sit in their face and chat. And the things that they say about these autistic kids have nothing to do with Nyla. The drags don't even be hitting me. I just don't like they have false information out there. Like I said, you cannot tell Nala has autism at all if I didn't tell you. And I tell you that because I want people to understand autism has a wide spectrum. It's not in the way, and like I said, even if somebody's nonverbal, in my experience, I can't speak for anybody else's children, but like I told you, in my experience with my kids' classmate, you and I've always spoke about this. Usually, if they don't have one sensory, they're very advanced in others. They're very advanced in others, and you know, so that's just been my experience. So, but like I said, you have to have history on it. But if you see autism as a downplay, you wouldn't know that. But the people that they associate with do, like ZX, he thinks you got a bad womb if your kid is autistic. Let's not forget that. And who been on his dick? VS and Read the Heart. Like, come on now, you can't pay me to deal with that nigga. He has never been on my panel. It's no need. It's no need. So for people to put labels on me that don't apply, like me as a mom, whether my kids was autistic or not, I don't think that's right to make fun of anybody's child disability. Y'all have never seen me done that, and you won't. Y'all have never seen me come on here begging either, and you won't. I'm not monetized, so I have the right to ask for cash. Well, I don't even ask for cash up, but people want to send me cash up, it's fine. If I want to ask, it's fine. But what you don't see me asking for, if we got to pay for any necessities in my life, my apartment was furnished on my own. I didn't come out here with no fake baby. Y'all won't catch me sweating, no nigga. All the things these bitches They got the downfall. I'm light years ahead of them on that because it was embedded in me. It all depends about your upbringing and then the women that are around your life. That's why these bitches can never play with me. They're not even on my level. It's no amount of views. It's no amount of cash apps that can make me go against my morals. It just won't happen. And I won't let nobody pretend like it did. See, people like to try to put labels on people that are more transparent than others. Like, it ain't no way you're gonna tell me you got it made and you can't afford basic shit. These people can't make one milestone in life without a cash out. That's wild. Then VS want to lie. The B sector, VS been on. She was on food stamps since the B sector started. Majority of her life, remember, she used to have cash apps to other people's name or telling y'all to donate to this and buy that because she could not be caught up with her HR welfare case. That's not me. I don't receive cash assistance. Weirdos. Okay. People calling for making false allegations on me. What happened with that one? Nothing but a court case. So people are mad at me because the things I say to them are really real. Don't you see after I made my live, VS is going on her way to prove what to who? I didn't say anything but what she said. And I don't appreciate these people that come from bad mothering or, in my opinion, by their own standards, bad mothers. You can't tell me to go spend time with my daughter when I'm never here all day, every day. I'm never here all day, every day. If I sit on the panel because it's more convenient, because I don't have to be controlling nothing. I can go back and forth. And even with that, I don't sit there and stay there the whole time. You never see me here all day. That's things people have lied on because rather than admit that they are following bitches because they are just as lonely as the hoes they follow. Like-mindedness. It's like-mindedness. I've never been one to go along to get along. I've always stood out. That's why other people had to pay to get on panels that I never had to pay to get on. Nobody's ever, and the people had the nerve to try to say I'm missing computer bag. Why the fuck would I miss a computer bag bitch that has followed me on panels? Y'all don't see me following her. Y'all seen me take her mind stick and she asked for it back. Y'all I took my mod stick and she asked for it back. Then I took it again. Y'all never seen, and y'all also seen me tell her to take her mod stick. We have fell out several times. I fall out with content creators all the time because if they do bullshit that I don't like, I don't care about their numbers. I don't care about their views. That never affected me, and y'all seen that. So why people don't want to give me credit about like they want to get mad? Like let's talk real shit. Let's talk about why you really mad because I call it out and I support who I want to support. See, I like Wally because see, Wally admits he has a mental health problem. He admits it. Why would I get mad at Wally for some stuff that I already know to be true? Wally ain't changed. But like I said, Wally isn't that crazy. But people that talking about Wally, they had sex with Wally. I would never have sex with Wally. I wouldn't. But I like Wally because, like I said, when I came here, he was the only one not cursing. He was very transparent. And to me, he was real. Wally does his bullshit, yes. But most of these people on here do it. But you know what? He stands in it. And I just respect realness. Because especially in this sector, it's rare to find. It's rare to find. I respect somebody that's going to be about it and do what they like. Come on now, look at all these people. The people that you come to find out. Like I'm just saying, like y'all already know my pet peeves. I don't want no begging bitch calling me a beggar, and I don't be begging. I'm not gonna let somebody talk about having a husband and they being fed by other single women. That's weird to me. What They literally come out here and say, "Oh, you say I'ma just beg, I'ma just beg more." Like it's not cute, it's not funny, and that more people are acknowledging that they want to sit here and try to turn things on me. I don't have to give a goddamn dime back for what? I didn't ask for it. Are they gonna pay me for my time and the views and the money they got off the views? I helped them with their panel. That $100 ain't shit compared to the money she got off the views when I was on her panel. So that's why she misses me. She the one came around after me, very complimentary. And like I said, they run the same scams. Like Brianna offered me a mind state, but like I said, based on our own person, I thought was a relationship because I was helpful to her. And people tell me, I don't miss that hoe. I don't have to. You know how many women out there that deserve upliftment that really need it? I don't have to uplift a fat stink bitch that don't want to uplift herself. I don't give a fuck about that hoe. When you come for my kid, it's a wrap. So just because you're a barren bitch ain't got shit to do with me. You've been in a 4-year college for 8 years and people think you smart. Like I feel like I've been telling y'all, I think a lot of people on here, they sit here and say things to people because they make them feel better. Or they need a way. Like I don't know what the problem is, and I really don't care. I'm not a psychiatrist. That's not my field. I'm gonna keep up or you're not. But what I didn't appreciate is after VSO, I was correct. And what I said about ODS and K Fit. And she went and questioned her and she felt stupid. She knew she couldn't even say nothing. But how you and read the Heart Philadelphia back, I mean, good moms, when you go and the ZX literally said, if you have a kid with autism because you're evil and God is cursing you. Because your kid is autistic, God is cursing you. That just goes to show. Then he always said, then I was listening to that. Oh, if somebody say something about my kid, I'm just gonna show you more pictures. No, you don't. No, you don't, ZX. You don't show your overweight daughter. You sure don't. You don't talk about the fact that y'all both living off your mother. You don't show that. People have to bring it out, and you ignore it. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. I've always been the brains of any relationship I've been. You will never see me on an application that I didn't read the rules and guidelines for. But I know that I won't do anything against the rules. That's what I say. That's why I could always get my strikes right up off my page. I just let y'all have the moment in a minute. Y'all cannot get rid of my page for what? I'm not breaking the rules. Y'all are. You're the one mad because we in a roast and gag sector and you can't roast and gag. Or you can't beat me. So you want to try to take it offline and make up shit about my children, about myself, about my parenting. But at the end of the day, you look dumb to anybody with common sense when you support certain people. And that's the conversation that's had, and I'm glad it's being had. So don't be mad because my daughter gets support. You know why my daughter is getting support? Because her mother has supported majority of you bitches. So if my ancestors put it on the people's heart, I'm glad to do so. Because God knows I've always came out here defending other people's children, whether I like them or not. Whether they defend their own children or not. That's never been me. I never liked ODS. Never. And it had nothing to do with kids with autism. It was because he likes to call black women bitches, but he was the main one trying to have a rally saying nobody can call nobody a faggot. You got to be fucking kidding me. You have to have equal representation. Everybody can't kiss ass. So people that saying they real, they're not. Because their actions would show. Actions speak louder than words. Like I can move past that. If you can't, you can't. Oh well. But I'm gonna speak the truth. And you're not gonna put labels on me that belong on other people's. If you have to attach a label, I don't think anybody label should be attached to people. People do got the right to live how they want, but you won't dare judge me. You won't dare judge me. about a goddamn thing when your whole fucking house is dirty. Fuck sweeping the front yard. You got to sweep the front, back, sides, everything. How you carry on out here just with some views? You don't have no character. So how am I supposed to believe you gonna develop it in your children? You have to do by example. If you don't know how to develop character, you can't teach it. If you don't have morals, you can't instill them. If you don't have integrity, you can't show it. Fuck what you say. You have to show action. What's my tagline on my page? It's easy to play a role, but it's hard to stay in character. And that's a lot of you bitches' problem. And instead of acknowledging that, y'all want to try to project. And if you try to project on me, it's going to be a motherfucking problem. I don't give a fuck who you think you are, because you ain't going to do shit about it. It's my mouth. I got the right to my freedom. I didn't immigrate here. I was born here for a reason. Your God wanted me to be free. And I know my God did. My mouth is my voice, my advocacy. And I'm going to use it correctly for my children. And if I see you doing something that I feel like is hypocritical to my point and stance, because people love to make up lies on me because they can't tell the truth. I stand up for my convictions, whether it's the popular vote or not. A lot of people don't do that. They do it when it's convenient, and that's not good character. That's just my opinion. But anybody that support ODS, you goddamn right, I'm gonna say something. Especially if you're the mom of an autistic child. You support Brian, I'm gonna say something because you're not gonna sit here and try to pass judgment on me. And look what you're doing to try to get noticed on YouTube. No, my page is not monetized, and I would never try to monetize in a sector like this. Like I said, black women don't have to fit in the box. Everybody's different, and people can learn from other people. But like I said, the only reason why I dealt with you BS, it had nothing to do with autism. It's because I could tell that you are a broken woman and you came back to this sector because this is the only place you know to feel loved on. And I can understand why you couldn't go to your parents or brother. I can understand it. I didn't have I didn't have a good relationship with my mother, but it wasn't to the extent that you, yeah, hey Summer Breeze. It wasn't to the extent that you and your mother and dad and brother got that wasn't an issue. And you can post all the pictures you want, but it doesn't change the fact of the story you told. I don't need a black and white document. I believe you. I believe you. And I understood why you was hurt. But you don't get the right to try to do that with other people. I don't know what's going on in your mind that you need to try to do the things you do because people show like to you. And you do teach people well. I notice a lot, with the exception of Bless Wilkins. I never felt that from her. You didn't build Wiley. Wiley built himself. So we can't talk about that. Sorry. Yeah, but you and Brianna have that in common. When women are kind to you, when women identify with you, maybe not on the same level, maybe not on any level except compassion. Y'all don't take it the right way. You don't know how to receive it. And that's your issue. It's not other people's issue. A lot of y'all like to get juggled, and not just the CC subbies too. Look at you, Enterprise. I peeked there, and she's still mad because I called her out. Like, ain't Manny still over there? Why you mad at me? Why you lying? True Enterprise. Like, why don't you get off my dick? I don't give a fuck about what you got going on. You've been here how many years? And only thing I did was be nice to you. I didn't know you exist at that time. But when I found out, and I didn't even take it away from her. Like, I should have, but I like I told you, I've been knew about True Enterprise when she was sitting there repping Ness. And Ness called her a whole monkey. It was me that had to let people know True Enterprise skin is beautiful because it is. Her skin is beautiful, and she's funny. I don't think she's an ugly lady. I didn't even drag her about bowing down to Sean Bradley's freak. Like I like Sean Bradley and all, but I ain't bowing down to no motherfucking body. I'm serious. Well, at the particular time he bowed down, I didn't like him. I thought he was like mother, mean spirited, nasty. But when I got, like I said, it's important to get to know people for yourself. And y'all know I love Yanni, right? And hey Barry, oh I'm up because I don't know why I'm up, but I'm not tired. But I still got stuff to do anyway in here anyway. So I might as well stay up because I have to leave to get my deep freezer at 7, and my older daughter's here, so I don't have to take Nala with me no more. So I'm just gonna go with my friend, pick up the freezer, and come back. As I tell you, my aunt is a 7-day adventure. So uh, if y'all 7 day with y'all right now, I can't keep up with it. I promise you that. So I know it's sun up to sundown. They don't do anything. I think it's on Saturday. I think it's Saturday. Or do they start on Friday? Don't quote me. Sorry, Auntie. I can't remember if she catches the replay. Unless she's sleeping. But yeah, I'm just up for that reason. And I just was on Juicy panel and I didn't appreciate the narratives that was being spent. Poverty was lying and try to say I was lying. Like if I'm on a live and I sit here and say, Wula says she didn't say that. She want to argue about whether it was a back chat or not. It could have been back chat. Don't act like you couldn't been on back chat. A piece of me and you have been on the phone call. And you know this. It was me, you, and Brianna. We was talking about Kimmy. We was talking about a bunch of things. Oh yeah, we was talking about this heat and Kimmy. And that's when I told Brianna, just like I told Kimmy on, like I said, there's nothing they could bring out. Like even if they recorded the phone call like Shelly, it's gonna be the same difference. Uh, Same thing I said, because Brianna was like, "Oh yeah, oh you serious about this Kimmy thing?" I said, "Yeah, because y'all be letting her get away with certain shit, and she not about to play with me." And that's when she calls her coming for Nyla. So I roll her ass, like y'all seen. I'm very transparent. And it's easy. Yeah, like I said, y'all get on my nerves. Y'all think coming for Nala, it's only gonna make your life harder because I'm a petty person and I'm patient. I'll get you. I'm not a stalker, but any opportunity I get, I'm gonna bring it up. But I don't have to stalk nobody because when I'm on YouTube, it's not all the time I'm in the B sector. I'm in a lot of different places because I can be. It's easy peasy for me. But what ain't easy is hypocrisy, projection. I don't like that, you know. And like I said, I've been in the B sector since its inception. So I know how a lot of these content creators roll. I know it. And then certain things are just life experience and karma and how you was raised. And I carry myself a certain way and I want to be acknowledged for that. And you're not about to super judge me and overlook other things with people. Nobody came out here dragging Nyla. They had no reason to. They didn't know Nala was autistic until I told it. And that's my right, just like everybody else's. We're all on here to share our own perspective. I don't need to fit in nobody's fucking box. And anybody that's a true supporter of mine and or Nala's, because sometimes some people just support Nala and not me, and I accept that. I'm not mad at it. One thing my grandmother taught me, because I did used to be that way, but my grandmother taught me to be how you say it. And that was what I think my older yeah, it started with my older daughter when my neighbor she only gave a Christmas present to my daughter instead of my son, and I wasn't going to accept it. And my grandma was like, I cannot do that. I had to accept presents for both. I had to accept all presents people wanted to give my daughter. You know what I'm saying? And And like I said, my son, he wasn't real sociable. Like he could speak, he can do all that. You know what I'm saying? But my son didn't. The only like I think my son was cordial though, but his thing was you had to say his name correctly. If you mispronounced it, he would act just like he ain't hear you. If you ain't say his name correctly, that was his only thing. But if you spoke to him, he would speak back. But as far as like engaging in a conversation with you, no, not because he couldn't. He just didn't want to. He had to really like you to talk to you. It was rare that he meet somebody and he just be chatty patty. The majority of my men, the men in my family are like that, and the men I know in general, just men I know in general, they tend not to be chatty patties. Most men are not like open conversationists like that. To be honest with you, and my son is no different. So yeah, like these people, they are weird to me. So it's not about me making autism an excuse. Nobody's gonna spin that narrative. People are dragging my daughter because she's autistic. There's a difference. Uppity don't mention autism as anything because and you're not gonna do that because every time somebody said J Dummy was autistic, what did I tell you guys? It's impossible. Majority of the autistic people I know, they are not out here trying to be conversationalists. They're not trying to force themselves on you. They really don't care if you like them or not. They have no problem being to themselves. How the fuck do you get that? Jay Dunn has a mental issue, but autism isn't a mental issue. It's not. I don't even necessarily see it as a bad thing. But like I said, my kids has always been higher on the spectrum. Stop telling people that you've been my second celebrity because I didn't know you before any of this, and I'm not a person that's an exception or prior. Diamond, you're a white lady, and I have been here. I've been here since its inception. That's the truth. Oh, what you over there? Hey, Kathy, no, I'm saying I have been here since its inception. I have. But like I said, I was never that involved though. See, Diamond, you always been a mess. I've never been a mess. I've never been a mess. Like I told you, when I was here in the beginning, it was if I was behind the scenes with anybody, it was just to offer like I did Brianna emotional support, moral support. I offered in her chat, I offered in the emails. When Read the Heart of Philadelphia, I'm the one that gave her an idea to make a B sector book because she was always trying to push her books, which I did read and leave results in real time. You can go look up Read the Heart of Philadelphia actual books on Amazon. I'm not going to promote them. I don't remember the name anymore. But I did read her books and I did give her the idea to make a B sector book because nobody went and read her regular one. So I was like, why don't you do something concerning the B sector? And that's when she made the book about the B sector. I don't have to lie. I've been here since its inception. But y'all don't like when people are being positive to y'all. That's the issue. So like I said, because I always supported the underdog, I didn't support I've always been that way. I never went after like the popular CC. Well, not in this sector, but I've always liked the underdog. As long as they were doing something, well, not just any underdog. I'm not gonna say like I just voted for everybody. No, some people it was for a reason. In my opinion, I didn't want to be bothered with them, but like Wally was my main person I was dealing with in the B sector at that time, and that's when everybody was choosing sides. So on GP, you would get blocked just being in people's chat. They still do that now, but like I said, the subbies have come a long way, and I want them to keep growing. And I appreciate what they did for Nyla. And they're mad about it. So now they try to lie and say I said I didn't get $100. Then she tried to say I brought up for no reason. And even though I played the video in the context as to why it was even said, I wasn't gonna play the whole lot because she be lying for hours. And I wasn't even there the whole time. Yeah, but I don't. You're a chatty cat. Well, chatty patty. I think I heard chatty patty. But whatever it is, my son wasn't like that. A majority, but my son resembles majority of the men that he grew up around. They're not like that. They don't argue with women. Like it doesn't really matter the age group of the men in my family on either side. That's not something they do. It's not something. It just depends, like I said, what you grew up with. I'm not used to guys doing that, gay or straight. It doesn't matter to me. That's not something the guys that I grew up around does. They don't go back and forth with women arguing and stuff like that. They just don't. And sexuality, like it's a way to go back and forth, but you don't supposed to like I don't know. Gender means something to me. I don't care what you do in the bedroom. It doesn't make excuse for certain things to me. So, and that's another thing they didn't like. You said I bought the book by Rita Hubbard as a good book. Yeah, I read all her books. I didn't buy the personal books. I just bought the ones on Amazon. No, baby girl, you weren't, and the fact that you're willing to sit here and it's not a hit dog will holler. I have evidence. People, well, it doesn't matter if you remember me or not. I just know I was here. I'm just saying, you can't tell me something that I know happened. I've been here since inception. Just because you don't know that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't like you acting like your word is law. I have never seen anybody say, "Oh, did Diamond okay this?" Like it doesn't. Like I said, I know I've been here since inception. You may not remember me. That's fine. I was up under another name, and I did eventually change my name. I already told the story because of Ronnie Q and stalking me from Lipstick Alley. When the B sector get dark, I've never been a participant of that. Actually, that's when I had first started on Lipstick Alley. But then I eventually got shadow banned because every time I try to log in, it won't let me. It just keep no matter how many times I reset the email. I can like you can't tell me how to respond, Ivan. Like I can repeat myself all day if I feel like it. That's my business. I don't have to respond like you respond. You didn't have to come in here telling me I didn't do something I know I did, but you did. So I'm going to respond to it. A lie unchecked can become the truth. And this is a lie that's easily refuted. I don't know why you don't understand that. Yeah, but anyway, I just didn't want that narrative being pushed because she got pushed back. At the end of the day, this is this. They are known for scamming. They are known for being behind the scenes doing dirt. All of these people. I did not use autism as an excuse. People thought because my daughter's autistic, the fact that she's autistic is a drag. Brianna has let ODS on her panel. Before ODS dragged Nyla, she said let ODS on her panel to do it. The only thing is it didn't hit because I can if that's the only thing I say to people. I don't never tell adults how to act. I don't never sit here and beg people to protect my daughter or nothing like that. People did it because they genuinely like Nyla and they can't take that. So anyway, anytime they go on any panel track, I don't care who panel it is, if I'm aware of it and I'm able to get on the panel, I'm going to go address it. That's on period. And I'm going to correct them with facts. But the fact is this, nobody's using autism as an excuse, like VS applied, because she deals with people who does stuff like that. There's a lot of people on here, they friendly with people that drag kids just because they're autistic. And now they're mad because the main person who has spoke against that, whether it was my child or not, is getting recognition. Let's be honest. Because nobody's gonna sit here and say, "Oh, I be around people." No, 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 no. Let's talk about the people that really do it. Then, if you're gonna accuse me of something that I did not do, we'll have to address the people that actually did do it. I'm sorry. So you don't feel as though anything they said was true, and that's it's about because you made an observation over money. Yeah, I feel like they are intentionally not understanding. You know how somebody's not understanding you on purpose? That's what I feel like is going on because of the situation that came about. And even though some, like a lot of people were honest and stuff, but some people were putting a narrative like, oh, well, you still people that drag a kid. No, I don't. Brianna dragged Nyla after she realized I would never fuck with her. Because you got to remember, Brianna was following me every time I hit piece of link. If Brianna was up there, I didn't hit the link. I didn't hit the link. Just like I wasn't about to go back to Pretty Girl Chocolate, but I didn't want her feeling no type of way. When I see certain people in your link, I don't hit the link. I'm an access to your link. I'm an access. It's an upgrade to have me in your link, not the other way around. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to hit your link. If I'm doing, in my opinion, if I hit your link, I'm doing you a favor. So, and the views speak for themselves. People will be struggling with their views, and when I hit their link, it's different. So I help people on purpose, not on accident. And there's certain people I don't click their link. So I've been said I would never hit Brianna link again because of how she tried to treat me. And then she claimed she was gonna dox me and all this other shit. Y'all forgot about all that, right? So that didn't work out. So she been on some demon time because I didn't want to be bothered with her. And now she's trying to have her mindless followers try to create another narrative. But oh no, the same like True Enterprise was one of the main ones clocking the T. Now she's spinning a different story because they do anything for clout. I'm not here for clout or attention. And know what I wanted in this sector. I come here because it's fun. I've been here. I don't go nowhere if I'm not having fun, I just go away. But you ain't gonna lie on me though. That's the thing. But yeah, it was no confusion because I said it the first time. It's not like I'm saying anything new. I fall out with these people in and out all the time for a reason. That's why people always saying that, oh, you always falling out with somebody. Yeah, because if they do something I don't like or I think it's not kosher, I'm gonna speak up on it. I'm not gonna not say nothing based because a lot of people on here, they like I'm not sassy. I'm not gonna sit here and say something based on your subscriber account. I'm not gonna sit here and say one thing to one person and not the other. I don't care if you got two subscribers or 200,000. Because if I wanted to chase numbers, I'm smart enough to go outside of the B sector to do it. Because you hit us at you, it's going to be a plateau here. This can be a springboard, but if you notice, the majority of the people that's the top content creators, where they went, nowhere. So it's like a catch-22. So I'm here to have fun. This is not something I would necessarily make a brand on based on like my real life and stuff and the stuff that's allowed. Like I wouldn't brand myself here. I wouldn't do that. No. So that's why my page is not monetized. Not because it can't be monetized. I don't want it to be. Okay, Barry, I'm about to go to bed too. I just wanted to come clear that up really quickly because I just want to show how these people will do anything for likes and views. How the girl came saying I was lying, but nobody didn't say what lie I told, you know. So they want to do semantics and say, "Oh, you said cooling came to me behind the scenes, but it was in the chat." That has nothing to do with cooling said while I was on the panel with you. She never said that. Now, if she suddenly remember a couple of days later or the next day, it could be from peer pressure because Cooling is a liar and do anything for clout numbers and cash out. And if I couldn't afford school supplies, I'll get on the good foot too because y'all are very nasty and mean spirited. Y'all don't support people and y'all like to have a chokehold on them. I already pointed these things out. It just didn't happen with me because I didn't need you for anything. I go on panels to have fun, not because I need your support, not because I need you to share my page, not because I need you to hit my link. So it's different over here. They never had the control over me that others had over them, and they have over others. It's never been that way. I go on panels if I find fun and entertainment in it. That's it. It's that simple. And who gets the check from the views? It's not me. So $100 ain't shit. But like I said, I didn't even ask for it. But I did say thank you. But you're not gonna throw nothing in my face and make it seem like you did a goddamn thing for me. Especially because I didn't ask you for it, but you did ask me to be in your contacts. You did ask me to hit your panels. Hmm. You did ask me for interviews. I never asked you guys for anything. And it's just the truth. I don't support people who think that you can look down on children because they autistic and try to speak down on them, especially nonverbal. I always said that usually when they lack in one sensory significantly, they usually are really highly productive in others. I've always said that as well. But I've never been one of those mothers to sit with ODS and say, co-sign him. I've never done that. And anybody that did, because he wished death on my daughter, he threatened to grape my son because he think autistic boys are slow. You know what I'm saying? So the women that give him a pass for the things that came out his mouth, that's crazy to me. So don't be worried about panels I'm on because I'm never on a panel high-fiving and calling these people friends. Because I don't wait for it to come to my child till I say something. So yeah. People could be mad about it, but Nala deserves their support. Don't be mad about it because I support all of y'all kids, even when y'all don't. Later, you guys. Shove kisses. Mwah. Okay, Barry. Later, y'all.